has. Gives me the right to turn right, and I get the feeling I want to turn right here. Bukowska, so I do. I definitely want to turn right here. Left button, pardon me, not. I promise you I know the difference between debits and credits, but left and right is sometimes a problem. But anyway, this Bukowska is of interest because it's along this road. Obviously I couldn't get onto it easily because the way that I would have come onto it before is now completely closed off, as you saw earlier. But along here was the place where we lived, Yelena and I lived. So Sophie wasn't around until the end of that period. She was around in a sense, but not outside, as it were. Wasn't running around making a nuisance of herself, as she has been doing for the past 14 years, in her own charming way. She wasn't doing it then. So she was contained, as it were. She was there, but she was contained in a very natural way. And that was along here. And the hospital in which she was born also is near here. It's called Polna. That may well be part of it, by the way, for all I know. But if it is, then it's rebuilt, because it obviously didn't look like that at the time. It looks like something different, like a swimming pool or something. Some kind of fancy sports centre. I'm struggling a little bit with the sun, aren't I? Because the sun's right ahead. We're driving to the west, you see. So, yeah, this has got a lot of memories attached to it from living here. Shortly afterwards, from even after not living here, but when working for Strategia, which was the Crow Haworth member for a while. There was also a link to this area because I used to like to go to a hotel called Gold, which is just on that side. It probably is still there, the Gold Hotel. It's difficult to see anything because of the strong sun that's not so high up, but let's see if that helps at all. It's not helping the camera much, is it? But I hope it isn't damaging it. Anyway, bus is obviously able to go. Now we'll be able to go. Come on, you move. That seems to be not completely familiar. Oh, visas for Russia. Yes, because the Russian embassy, there's an extra Russian embassy in Poznan, which is here, one of the territories around here, is actually the Russian embassy for Western Poland. Poland's got actually two embassies, at least two embassies of Russia, the one in Warsaw, but also an extra one out here in Poznan. And Poznan also has an airport, and this is the road out to the airport too, so in theory it should be a really busy road, but it's only a one track, as you can see, so it does get queuey, but being as it's a Saturday afternoon or evening now, 1903, June the 14th, it means that, oh, he wants to come out, does he? That's not so brilliant. Might just block a bit of the horrible sun off though, so that maybe that's not something I should be so upset about, but makes it hard to see what's coming up. Cafe Relax was always there, and yeah, somewhere around here was where the hospital was. Somewhere around here is where the Hotel Gold was, if I can find it. Oh, it's called something else, or is it the same one? Hotel, yeah, it says just tell. It says Hotel GH is what it's called now. It's only 2 stars, but it was a decent hotel. I liked it. It wasn't expensive. And down there, this is the road. If you go up there, you get back to the other road, which leads you out towards the old motorway, or the old main road, which is what I know. And that's Bulgarska, where the football club used to be, and that's where we lived down there. You see, we lived in those flats down there. On there, we lived on there, so that even from Bukowski you could see the balcony at the back that Yelena used to like to sit out on sometimes. So hopefully she can see that with me as well and get a bit of a trip down memory lane. Yeah, it's worth filming Poznan because it's full of meaning for me. It's a significant place for me. And other than a couple of months that we lived together in Warsaw before that, that was the main place that I lived together with Yelena. So in those 2 months I can't really remember, it was pretty grotty. Because here we had a nice thing, and our neighbour 2 floors below was actually Ryszard Grobelny, who became, well, was even then, he now has he was building his own house at the time, but he was, so he had that flat, 2 flats below us. They're nice flats, and he's a very nice person, and him and his wife, even after Sophie was born, he used to pop out if he saw that she was like coming in from outside, because there weren't any lifts there. You had to walk up 4 flights of stairs to get to our place. And if he saw that she's coming out with the pushchair, he would actually jump. He or she, his wife as well, even though they knew that we weren't Poles and didn't have a vote or anything like that. He would jump out, or she would jump out, jump down 2 flights of stairs, and help out. You know, every time. Without fail, practically they did this. Even though we weren't, you know, like voters or anything, they were just decent people. And also what they say about Poznan and what they say about Grobelny's management of Poznan. And even you can see the way that Poznan's come on the whole time. You know, when I first was in Poland, they practically had only one intelligent building, one A-class building, that tall one with the kind of shape on the top of it. And then it got to the point where there's a lot of very good developments in Poznan, even despite the recession, you know, and the slowdown, you can see a lot of changes in Poznan. So here it hasn't changed much. It used to be all solariums and beauty parlours, and it still is, where the ladies of Poznan, the so-called Poznanki as I call them, used to get themselves dolled up. That's a kind of school thing over there with English. We used to have English even when the time when not every school in Poland was offering much by way of English. They had a full program. I know somebody who had their children there. I know somebody that lives just along here. An old board colleague of mine. I don't mean he was bored of my presence. We were both on the same board of directors. At that time, used to live out here somewhere. I won't say exactly where or exactly who it is, because you've got to respect people's privacies. But I would just say, if he's watching and he knows who he is, or anybody else who's watching knows who I'm talking about, he's a great bloke. He taught me a lot. Not that much older than me, but he taught me an awful lot, which is saying something if you're not much older than somebody, but you can still teach them a lot. And he taught me a lot about what being Polish means. I'm not Polish, but because of friendship with Poles, I've been able to understand much better what being Polish means, you know. And he was one of the people that I think enlightened me on what being Polish means. Okay. It's probably not brilliant because I'm doing the sun the whole time, so I'll turn off at this point.